but much later.
Now, I'm not sure whether,
This is the cabin at Clear Lake.
well, it's not our cabin.
It's not?
I think it's the one next door.
Oh, you may be right. Yeah,
Unless-
yeah, because there's no screen on it.
Yeah,
Or
and there are no windows, like this next to the door.
right. Yeah,
And
maybe
and
it's
also
up there.
the hill went right down to the front
Mhm,
door of the
mhm.
cottage. So, but I think they've in front of the cabin next door. That's the only thing I could figure out, and I wasn't concerned
Wait a
about
minute.
it. so
This
I-
couldn't be the backside.
No,
and this,
because there weren't the windows
yeah,
on
that
either
window
side of the
wasn't
door.
there. Yeah.
So I think it was
Okay.
what would they call that? The green something is next door. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was in better shape.
Oh yeah, that was much later built.
And did your father? He was a golfer, or not particularly?
He was at golf. He
Yeah.
he I don't know if he ever got a membership in the Clear Lake Club, but we could go and play golf there.
Did he play in Webster City?
Yes, but he didn't like the crowd, the Webster City Country Club crowd. He wasn't that kind of golfer. Yeah.
Were they drinking or gambling? I wonder what he was uncomfortable with.
I don't know. It was just a different crowd. It was he was a different person. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
He was a sort of a force unto himself, and wasn't part of a group. Except we had close friends through the church, Andy McIntosh, but
They weren't golfers either.
the golfers were a different crowd,
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but he wasn't that much into the country club.
Yeah.
He would put together a driver and a putter and something else in a bag, and that was what we were expected to play with. So we'd go and play around, play with him, but not very often. Yeah. That was Aunt Nancy's car. Yeah.
Aunt Nancy just starting back to Ann Arbor, it says.
Yeah.
She was, what was she doing in Ann Arbor?
She was she was in the Visiting Nurses Association, and she became one of the upper crust sort of. I can't think of the right term.
Oh, an administrator.
I lived with her for the year I went to school at the University of Michigan, primarily because Nancy was living there, and I needed to get my music education credits. So I was just teaching English and history in high schools, and wasn't very good and didn't like it.
Yeah.
And music, of course, was my main interest, but I didn't have the credits to teach anything. So that's when I went back and lived with her in her apartment in Ann Arbor.
And she was already nursing at
She
that
was
time.
she was in public health nursing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How many years older was she than you?
What was it?
How many years older was Nancy than you?
2. She was in June, and I was 2 years later in September. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should do this. So Uncle John was born,
June 4th in 1915. Nancy was born in June 18th in 1918. And I was born September 2nd in 1920.
okay, and then
15,
Dad was
18,
born,
and 20.
and Dad was born 25 and married 26.
Yeah.
Okay. This looks to be all of you later. 53.
Oh, well, that was one of her roommates.
Aunt Nancy's?
Yeah, and in Michigan.
Okay.
And Ann Arbor, she came, and I was surprised. I didn't remember that at all.
Fisher is her last name, I
Can't
guess.
think of her first name now.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, you were talking about Aunt Jessie. Do you think it's possible that Aunt Nancy was bisexual?
No.
Okay.
She was desperately in love with this man that was a senior when she was a freshman, and he became a minister, and she thought that she might have a chance with him, and he met somebody else. Yeah, and she never got over it. Yeah.
Did you know the man?
Yes, Brown Barr was his name, and he became a minister and a bigwig in the Congregational Church in the East. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he came back and stopped at the hatchery and asked Murray about where Nancy's grave was, and went up to the cemetery to see it. He, after his first wife died, he renewed acquaintance with Nancy, and I think that renewed her hopes. And then he met somebody else and married her, and Nancy knew that was it. It was devastating, really devastating to her. Yeah, it was a tragedy for her.
Gosh.
Yeah.
We'll have to go find out where his grave is and spit on it.
Well, it's back in New England someplace. Well, taking the family, the visitors down to Florida. That was one of the things that he went down there every fall to get away from the coldness and so
Your
on.
father
And-
went down every fall.
Every fall, yeah. And he didn't want to be down there alone with just mother. So different ones of the family, friends, and Anne's, your mother's mother was invited down once.
Good grief.
Yeah, and Aunt Jessie, I think, was there, and Jim and I went the first year we were married.
That's rather expensive, or I would have thought. He found that to be money well spent.
I think so. Yeah.
And I have heard, there's my dad over
That-
there.
yeah. So that was
time.
Oh, that's your number. I don't know what year that would be.
Well, it looks to be post-war,
Yeah, post-war,
so 50s maybe.
and the fact I don't know if Anne
Maybe
was there
40s,
or not.
yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
it was before he was married.
And I think we had this fish on our wall forever. That must be Dad's, and this must be your dad's. Big sailfish.
That big, yeah.
Did you have a sailfish in your house?
Yes.
That may be it. I don't know.
Nobody else in the family wanted it in their home. Mother wasn't all that, but he had it and it was there.
I have heard Dad say that all of these trips, when you were growing up, were with so many other people that when we were finally a family traveling and camping, he wanted only the family.
Oh, yeah.
We just,
Yeah.
we had to fight to
A
get
whole other
anybody else.
family, might
Yeah.
I tell you. Yeah.
You know, you
Oh,
left
that's
them.
nice of Mary. At the Parrot Jungle, you know, 56, yeah.
This is down in
Florida.
Florida,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
when you say it's a nice picture, her face has been mutilated
Uh-huh.
by age from as the picture's fallen apart.
By 56, Mary was into her training for her singing and so on.
This is probably it again.
So it looks, that's a pose. She's posing in that
Yeah,
picture. Yeah.
Aunt Nancy?
And then Nancy was there,
Oh, no tie.
Yeah.
See, there's
and not even a top. That's
right. There's a rare picture.
a rare picture. But that was what they did in Florida.
With no tie. So everybody just came down.
Yeah,
Did you fly or did you?
He paid for flying. He paid for. We were our first year married. We had no money. We were in college in the University of Illinois, and he paid for the trip down, and he paid for everything there, and it was just what he did.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that Aunt Jessie had been there, but I'm.
Do you think that's down in Florida?
Oh yeah, I'm quite sure it is. Mother wouldn't be dressed like that otherwise.
What is she doing with the shovel? Do you think?
Who knows?
Going shelf looking
I
for
don't know.
shells or something? I wonder. Curious.
And
Are the two of them on the beach?
uh-huh.
In the 50s?
And now that's surprising to me in a T-shirt and no tie.
Yeah.
Well, I guess by that time
You know, and in
you
Florida too.
realized
Imagine
it.
if you're.
in Florida you have to do
It must have been.
it'd be
very-
too hot.
Exactly, and humid.
Yeah,
Grief.
sticky.
With one of those, it looks like some kind of meter for a camera. My dad
Well-
used to use one of those too, the light
Probably.
meters,
Yeah.
where before you take a picture, you have
Yeah.
to figure out the light.
Uh-huh.
What are these things?
Now,
Some more vacations.
This was I'm not sure where this was taken, but from the clothing it was in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess. I know Nancy was with us. Here, Odessa Lake, Bear Lake.
That's up in the park, Rocky Mountain National
Oh,
Park.
okay. Well then, that's where it is. Yeah, and they were. They went
Going
must be-
fishing, it looks like. They both have fly fishing. Well, Nancy has a fly fishing rod. Interesting,
Yeah,
because that's not a easy thing to do.
I don't know what it is.
No, maybe
Mother's
grandmother does
carrying-
too. They both
Uh-huh.
have fly fishing rods. Maybe
Oh,
you
they must have gone fishing.
restrictions on the
I
lakes
don't
in the
remember.
park or something.
Now this is Aunt Helen and Uncle Hugh
Yeah.
in Iowa. See, Anne was just Anne was born in 1940, so that was probably early 40s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
She was born in 1940. Okay.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she sneaks into a lot of pictures without her parents. I wonder if they're taking the pictures.
Now that I'm not sure. Whether it was, I
Is
would
it-
guess it was before they were married,
Ann and Tom.
Anne and Tom.
But again, their parents aren't there.
But
You
I
think
thought-
it's? Do you think it's? Well, you could almost tell if she was born in 40. It's in the obviously in the
yeah,
late
and
40s.
Tom was born in 42, so
and they didn't know each other until 47
45.
or
Yeah,
something.
she
right?
came up to Clear Lake. I know.
Oh,
One
okay.
time. I didn't remember that the whole family was there though, because I was there.
You were home visiting
but
from
the
someplace.
kids were there though too. Yeah, yeah.
Where would you have been? Do you think?
But
In the mid 40s, where were you?
teaching, I taught in a little town in Iowa until 45, and in 45 I came out to West,
I see.
and I've taught out West ever since, except for the 1 year at Michigan.
In Richland?
I was in Richland. That was where I ended up in Richland. I was in North. See, I came out and taught. My first one was in the wheat country over in eastern Washington. No trees except in the towns, you know. And then
Pullman, Walla Walla, that area.
it was in farther north. It was just south of Spokane.
Okay.
And then I moved to up north of Spokane in Colville, and
Oh
near
my
near
gosh.
the Indian reservation,
yeah.
and near the Canadian border, and that was for 3 years. And then I went back to school for a year to get my music, and then came back out to teach outside of Spokane, where the plains were. In the I can't think of what I'm trying.
Ritzville or
No,
what's out there?
anyway.
Cheney.
it was well. We were our first. We were after we were married. We came to Cheney.
Cheney.
But this was another one. I was only there for a year. But the planes were overhead all the time, out of this air base that was in this town, just as west of Spokane.
Yeah, I know that.
And I can't think of the name of it. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
What was it like in Colville? Did you have Indian students?
No.
No.
The reservation was far away. We had we were there were wheat ranches, and it was a small town. I don't know what the population would be, but they had a newspaper, and they had a bank, and a drugstore, and all that kind of thing. And I bought my car there, and it was a pleasant place. Yeah, and we would go hiking. We could go hiking out beyond. Behind you is the mountain, and that reminded me of the mountain that was outside of town that we could hike up to the top. It isn't the same one, but that picture reminded me of it. So it was a sort of a rural. It was a rural. A lot of school buses, and the kids came in from the farms, from the ranches, and from they were in town too. Yeah.
Had you met your husband by that time?
No, met him in Richland.
Okay.
After I had got my music, and then I came back, and I was the vocal music teacher, and he was the instrumental music teacher, and he was 4 years younger than I, and just fresh, green as could be, you know, for a new teacher, and I was an experienced teacher, and I couldn't be bothered. And after a year and a half or so, we had a faculty meeting, and we were each to explain our philosophy of teaching, sort of. And he started out, and I was impressed with what he said about wanting the kids to have fun with it and so on. And I started paying attention. So I decided, well, maybe I better do something about this, because I wasn't getting any younger. So I played up to him, and he fell for it. And that was it.